evening and welcome to the March 9th, 2026 City of Farmington Hills City Council meeting. Calling this session to order. We always begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like to call up Ellen Schnackle to lead us, please, and we'll hear from her again in a minute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Council members Aldred.
Here.
Holloware.
Here.
Bridges.
Here.
Dwyer.
Here.
Knoll.
Here.
Starkman.
Here.
Mayor Rich.
Here. Okay, item 1, approval of the regular session agenda, please.
Madam Mayor, I move the council approve the agenda as published, okay?
Support.
No.
So what's going on here?
Yes.
Oh, it's a different, motion.
Because Matt asked to have his.
Oh, okay, exactly right.
I don't.
At the same time, yeah,
We have to
I move the
open up
council
before
approve
we
the
have
agenda as
Wait,
published.
wait.
Yep.
Oh,
So it's on the agenda, so
Yes.
it'll have to be addressed, and that'll be the motion at the time.
Okay, thank
You have
you.
to approve the agenda then, right?
Yes, so
My
your
original
motion is.
was correct.
Yeah, your original motion is correct, and who seconded?
Support.
We have second, and this is a regular vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Fabulous. Item 2, proclamation recognizing Gary Mection's retirement and years of service to the city will be read by Mr. Bridges.
Madam Mayor, proclamation recognizing City Manager Gary Mection on the occasion of his retirement, March 9th, 2026. Whereas Gary Mection, who was raised in Farmington Hills, has provided more than 15 years of service to his hometown, including serving in the city's highest administrative role. And whereas since joining the city in 2010 as Director of Public Works, Gary has served in various leadership capacities and has supported the development of the city staff, provided mentorship to fellow city teammates. Whereas under Gary's leadership as city manager, the city achieved numerous successes, including the development of the 2025-2030 strategic plan with a mission, vision, and values for the city, the securing of numerous major improvement grants, the creation of the Department of Communication and Community Engagement, and more. And whereas as Gary embarked on his new chapter, we thank him for his years of service. Now therefore be it resolved that Patricia Rich, Mayor of the City of Farmington Hills, on behalf of City Council, do hereby thank City Manager Gary Mection for his service to the city and express our best wishes for his future endeavors.
Okay, thank you very much. And we also have a proclamation recognizing Ellen Schnackle's retirement and years of service to the city.
Okay. Whereas Ellen Schnackles dedicated nearly 23 years of exemplary service to the city of Farmington Hills with stalwart dedication and commitment to providing the community with essential services. And whereas throughout her career, Ellen has worked diligently to serve the community, build lasting relationships with community members, and fostering a culture of teamwork and accountability. And whereas Ellen has seen numerous successes as a department leader and colleague to her fellow city teammates since joining in 2003, including the grand opening of the Hawk in 2021, the city's award-winning cultural arts and recreation venue. And whereas Ellen leaves behind a legacy of service through teaching, coaching, and mentoring with compassion and fairness that will continue to inspire future generations of professionals in parks, the arts, recreation, and more. And whereas as Ellen embarks on a new chapter, we express our deepest gratitude for her dedication and contributions to our community, as well as her commitment to excellence. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Teresa Rich, Mayor of the City of Farmington Hills, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby honor Director Ellen Schnackle for her extraordinary service and express our heartfelt thanks and best wishes for her future endeavors.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure serving our residents and guests over the last 20-plus years. I am thankful to city administration, both past and present, for their leadership and support. Also thankful to each of you, city council members, that understand that parks, arts, and recreation are essential services, not luxuries. When we talk about families moving into Farmington Hills, there's really three things, right? Safety. Police and fire are outstanding. The second is great schools, and the third thing is parks and recreation, and that's where special services really gets to shine. I'm very proud of my accomplishments during my career here, honored to have inspired and led an army of extremely talented staff, excuse me. I'm leaving the department in very capable hands, and we'll be watching as a new Cossack Center hopefully becomes a reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Ellen, before you dash, did you want to do a photo with council? I know we did photos of some of us at your farewell, but we didn't have all of us. Okay, great. Great, thank you. Okay, we have a bounty of announcements, presentations from city boards, commissions, and public officials. So let's start with, oh, and actually before that, quickly, a 100th birthday celebration to Mr. A.C. Calvin Felix McDaniel, who with his family is watching the live stream this evening. So happy 100th birthday. On behalf of the city council, city administrators, and residents of Farmington Hills, it is our pleasure to wish you a very happy birthday as you turn 100 on April 1st. Thank you for choosing to be part of the Farmington Hills community. On this milestone birthday, we thank you for being a valued member of our community. Your presence and contributions through the years have helped make Farmington Hills the wonderful place it is today. Through over 50 years of service and leadership with the Exodus Missionary Baptist Church, where he is still a trustee, you positively impacted thousands of parishioners and community members. Your involvement in Exodus Missionary has also contributed to a sense of belonging to your fellow churchgoers, and that is greatly appreciated. Our city thrives because of residents like you who bring kindness, dedication, and a strong sense of community to our neighborhoods. Your role in shaping the character of Farmington Hills is deeply appreciated. We hope this special day brings you joy, laughter, and time spent with family and friends. May the year ahead be filled with health, happiness, and wonderful memories. And once again, happy birthday, and thank you for being a cherished part of the Farmington Hills community. And his family picked up the letter today. Takes us to a presentation of property tax foreclosure prevention by Oakland County Treasurer Robert Wittenberg. Good evening, Mr. Treasurer.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Do we have, is it,
It's on the desktop there.
okay, let me see it, it might be, oh, it timed out though, so, sorry. Password 123. Many people can guess that.
Now you've told everybody, we have
Yeah.
to change it.
So which,
Right in the middle there.
it's just the one right in the middle. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Let's see. Thank you for bearing with me here. All right. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be here with all of you. It's nice to see all of you here tonight and all the people that are home. It's that time of year. It's the tax cycle. And so I'll kind of go through this with you. The 3-year process. March 31st is the deadline for anyone that owes 2023 and prior taxes to pay or get on a repayment agreement with our office to prevent foreclosure. So starting in January, and through the end, I'm trying to get to as many communities as possible to try to talk about the work we're doing and try to help prevent foreclosure here in Oakland County. There are 62 cities, villages, and townships, so I don't get to all of them, but I try to get to as many as I can, and then where I can't be there, we usually give them something to read on the record. So appreciate the time this evening. I will try to be quick and then happy to answer any questions that you have after. So I'll talk a little bit about the 3-year process. I don't know if everyone can see this, but maybe Thankfully, I have it right here. So this year for 2026, March 31st is the foreclosure deadline for anyone that owes 2023 and prior year taxes. So how the timeline works here, you can see it here. There's year 1 delinquency, year 2 is forfeiture, year 3 is the foreclosure. So the way it works, 2023 taxes, you would have been billed your summer bill in July and your winter bill in December. And then if you don't pay that off by the end of February, on March 1st, it turned over to us. So again, 2023 taxes turned over to our office March 1st, 2024, and so they became delinquent. March 1st, 2025 is when they were forfeited. In essence, there's a lien that's put on the property, and then the interest that's charged actually goes up. And then March 31st of this year, in 2026, is when the foreclosure can happen. So we're really getting out here to try to prevent foreclosure. This talks again about the timeline. Throughout the whole process, there are numerous notifications that are sent to people's houses. So you can see some of those there. Those are the statutorily required notifications. We actually send quite a few on top of that. We do property visits, so there's at least 2 visits to each property where they post the property. So if it is a structure, they'll post it. If it's a vacant lot, they put a stake in the yard. So this kind of goes through the timeline. This lists all the different fees. They can be really high. It is state statute. We don't control what the fees are and the interest, but they can add up quickly. So we always try to encourage people to pay off as soon as they can to try to save money. After the foreclosure, just quickly, it used to be that if you were foreclosed, you lost out. That was it. The law changed actually when I was serving in the legislature prior to becoming treasurer, and we voted to change it so that if you are foreclosed, you're entitled to the surplus. You have to submit a claim form. So if the foreclosure happens on April 1st, then you have until July 1st to submit a claim form, and then you're entitled to the surplus. So properties go to an auction. If the taxes, interest, fees that you owe is $10,000, it sells for $100, you're entitled to that $90,000 difference. It's a court case, so the judge is the one who actually grants it, but working through our office. So just kind of FYI on the timeline. So to give you an idea, the full picture and the scope of what this looks like throughout the county, so there are about 500,000 parcels in Oakland County. What we're looking at here, this is 2022 taxes and 2025 foreclosure year, because I talked about that 3-year process. So in 2022, you would have been billed your summer and then winter bill. On March 1st, 2023, that's that top number there, 41,498 parcels turned over delinquent to our office. Below that, properties with delinquent taxes that paid in full, so that 39,700, those are people that paid their taxes off in full. The 1287, those are people who got into repayment plans with our office. They usually, how it works is we do what are called taxpayer assistance meetings. These are one-on-one confidential meetings for people. And there's 7 of us in the office, myself and 6 others that do these. Starting in December all the way through the end of March, we'll talk to people about their unique situation and try to get them onto a repayment agreement and see if there are other resources that might be available to them. So that's 1,287. The foreclosed number was 251, but 81 were withheld for whatever reason. It could have been through the title search, someone else of interest came about. There's various other reasons. I won't get into all of them. The foreclosure number last year was 172. The number is skewed just a little bit because we did have one property owner in Pontiac who somehow was going to the judge each year and kept getting it pushed and pushed, and had 30 vacant lots in Pontiac that all foreclosed. So that number should be, around 140. And that is still relatively low if you think about it out of the 500,000 parcels in Oakland County. The lowest number we've ever had was in 2024. We had about 90 parcels that foreclosed. And the overwhelming majority of what gets foreclosed is vacant. It's usually vacant lots. So let's go on. So this is Farmington Hills specifically. So to give you the 2024 foreclosure year, so this again would have been 2021 taxes. So in 2021, the taxes were billed. On March 1st, 2022, 710 parcels turned over delinquent. And then you can see how many people paid off and left 172 in 2023 that were forfeited. And then you had one foreclosure in 2024. So this kind of gives you I showed you kind of the scope of the county. This is specific to Farmington Hills. This is 2 years ago, and then last year, similar numbers for what turned over delinquent. The year before, it was 710, went to 747. And again, 130 that were left forfeited the following year. So this again would have been 2022 taxes, delinquent 2023, forfeited 2024, the 130 number, and then you had 2 foreclosures last year. So again, to talk through the timeline, I talked about how it's the 3-year process. Again, anyone who owes 23 and prior is subject to foreclosure this year. March 31st is the deadline to pay or get onto a repayment agreement. Otherwise, April 1st is when the foreclosure can happen. Again, we're here to help. Those taxpayer assistance meetings I talked about, we also have, and I'll go into a little more detail on this, we have what's called our Financial Empowerment Center within our office. Rita, who's the head of that department, is like a financial coach and works with people on budgeting and trying to find resources that might be available to them or grants, who does a really great job. So the community outreach is ongoing. That's me trying to get out to as many meetings as possible. We're also doing a multimedia campaign, really encouraging people to reach out to us. What I always tell people is, we don't know you need help unless you tell us you need help. You need to reach out to us. So that's why I'm here today. Let's see, I think we got through all that. I kind of went over this, again, the timeline. There is a judicial foreclosure hearing that happens every year. This already happened. This happened on February 18th this year. For anyone that isn't able to work with our office, or some people don't even call our office and go straight to the hearing, so that is your right as well. Again, the March 31st is the deadline to pay, and April 1st is the foreclosure. I talked about the surplus funds that you have to turn in the claim form by July 1st, so that's listed here, and then it goes through the process of what it looks like to hopefully get your surplus funds. Some resources to be aware of. I mentioned the Financial Empowerment Center, so here's the contact information, 248-858-0672. All information about our office, you can actually go to our general office website, oakgov.com/treasurer. Also, just people to be aware of this, there is a poverty exemption based on your income that could reduce your property taxes. Here in Farmington Hills, you'd have to speak to the assessor to talk through that. And then the last one is an entity that we are not affiliated with, but we refer a lot of people to, Lakeshore Legal Aid. It is a free legal aid, free legal clinic for seniors and low-income families. They do everything but criminal law and traffic citations. So don't call them if you get a parking ticket or a speeding ticket. But otherwise, they can be there to help. Call 888-783-8190, and then their website, lakeshorelegal.org. Couple things real quickly, just some other initiatives we have within our office. We have our Smart Finance Academy. So this is a monthly webinar that we do on various financial topics, on debt management, on credit. We did one, I actually partnered with Sheriff Bouchard on financial crimes and financial fraud, those kind of things, to try to help people prevent the crime from happening, or if something happens, what they can do. And then our next one actually is this week. We have one on Wednesday. We have a CPA who's doing a presentation on personal income taxes and what to know with changes at the federal level and the state level. So it's pretty timely with April 15th coming up, the filing deadline. We also have within our office a down payment assistance program for first-time home buyers in Oakland County. And it's based on income. It is a $5,000 grant that you get. You do not have to repay it. We've had, the numbers here are slightly outdated. We've had close to 300,000 now to grantees throughout all of Oakland County. I think the communities, it was 23 as of a few weeks ago. I think that number's come up as well. So take a look at that. The website's listed. And then the last thing is we have a property owner education series of videos that talks to them about this, like the 3-year foreclosure process, talks to them about the assessment notice that you get in the mail, talks about the pop-up tax, various things about property taxes that could be helpful and relevant to owners, property owners here in Oakland County. So just want to make you aware of that as well. And then I think that's it. So what I will reiterate, again, if you didn't listen to anything else I said or did not remember anything else I said, remember that we are here to help. And we don't know you need help unless you tell us you need help. So call us 248-858-0611 to schedule one of those taxpayer assistance meetings. You can come into our office. The email is listed there as well. But again, we're here, again, trying to get out to as many communities as possible, trying to let people know that we're here to help and we want to try to prevent foreclosure. So I try to get through that as quickly as I could in the interest of your time. I apologize if I rushed it just a little bit. The daylight saving time and having a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old makes it difficult, and I had a little caffeine today, which I don't normally do, so I feel like I'm just like on the moon here. So I'm happy to answer any questions or go over anything else you might need in more detail.
Council, questions?
Question.
Yeah, please.
Thank you for your presentation, Council Treasurer. Appreciate you. The funding source for the $270,000 now come from the appropriation from the county?
So it's actually specifically from the treasurer's office. How it works is we invest our surplus funds for the county, and the funds that we don't need like directly in the next week or two, whatever it is, and we ladder out. But what we did for this program is at the time we invested the interest rate was 5%. And so what we did is invested it at 4%, and that 1% spread is what funds this program.
Okay.
So it is money that we are investing, but we take just a slightly lower interest rate to then use that money to fund. We see obviously the importance of getting first-time home buyers here in Oakland County, and we thought that was a value proposition.
How do residents or anybody take advantage of this program? What is there advertising or is marketing regarding this program?
So we don't do a lot of marketing for it. We do it on our social media. It's on our website. You can see right here. If anyone wants to go and take a look, it's oakgov.com/dpassist. Again, it's for first-time home buyers, which means technically you haven't bought a home or owned a home in the last 3 years, and then it's based on income. You do have to go through a class, a financial education class, and you have to bring $1,000 of your own money to the table. So you do have to have that money going in. So that's the program.
Yeah, I'm going to also compliment you on the program you have available for our residents in Farmington Hills. We appreciate that, and it's a great thing. So thank you for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, go tuck in the littles.
Yeah, that's heading right there. Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
Thank you.
All righty, I'm guessing, I see Mr. Sweeney here, I'm guessing we have a presentation from Emergency Preparedness Commission, tip of the month. Is it not that time?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
you.
Mike Sweeney. I'm one of your Emergency Preparedness Commissioners. Madam Mayor, members of council, city staff, it's a pleasure to be here this evening. It feels like Michigan has thrown a little temper tantrum on us here recently. We had some interesting snow, we had some fog, we had some rain, we had some more fog. The thunderstorm on the way home from Friday night's State of the City's presentation was, in a word, spectacular. As I'm driving home, I'm thinking about all the stuff that's in my truck, and I hope I don't end up in a ditch, and I don't want to get stuck in this, and want to get home and get into my basement where it's safe. And then we wake up and find out that one of the 48-inch water mains that goes across 14 Mile has broken. And so now we get to talk about floods. The rain was spectacular, the thunderstorm was spectacular, but the flood from the 48-inch main was very unexpected. We would like to recommend that if you see a street that's got water across it, don't drive through it. Don't try to walk through it. I know we're always curious as to where the flood waters went, and you might like to walk along and see where the refuge line is so you can see how close that water was to your basement. We recommend you stay away. Let DTE do their thing. Let the water department do their thing. They're a big piece of equipment there. They need to replace those mains, and they need to do it quickly because while that main's busted, we're not getting water in our houses. And there is still a water boil alert, although I understand they've done all their backfilling. The water department has done an amazing job putting in new lateral feeds, back feeds. So even though the big 48-inch main going across 14 Mile is broken, I understand they have 3 of their 20-inch mains doing backfills. Now, being a geeky engineer, I know that a 48-inch main can carry 14 times the water of one 20-inch main, which is a long way of saying it's not time to take baths and do the laundry and start watering your garden. But you can do your wash. You can wash your dishes. It's still recommended that you boil water as part of your food and you use bottled water for children and my personal favorite, coffee. The coffee has to come from bottled water right now. But this is a good opportunity to remind folks to take a look at what's in their pantry. The stuff you bought last year, now it's a year older, it's still edible. Why don't you eat that stuff now and go to the grocery store and buy new supplies to replace it? And again, we talk about the canned foods and the bottled waters and the health maintenance medicines and the things that you and your children need. They don't last forever. You do have to rotate them around. which is a long way to reach to where I was trying to get is during weather like this, you want to go and check your sump pump. You want to check your hot water heater. You want to check your furnace. And some of the older homes still have those old style screw-in fuses. And they don't last forever either. So if you still have one of those, go to the ACO, buy some new screws, and replace them one by one. If you've got a 4-amp fuse in there, replace it with a 4-amp fuse. Don't slide that 5-amp fuse in there because you're tired of when the fuse blows because the kid's radio or the gaming system's on. The wiring in the walls is the wiring in the walls. The fuses in the panel are the fuses in the panel. Unless you want to completely redo your house, get an electrician and get a new double throw panel. But if you have the threaded screws, replace them from time to time and replace them one-on-one. And again, I enjoyed the state of the city's presentation on Friday and the lightning show on the way home. I guess that's just God's way of applauding.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you all.
Sweeney.
Thank you, Mike.
And speaking of the water main break event that we experienced on Saturday, I received a call from Water Resources Commissioner Jim Nash on Saturday, and he offered Alyssa Taube to come back and chat with us about that. So she is here tonight, but I wanted Karen to please, Ms. Mondora, to please spend a few minutes with us first.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor. So the Great Lakes Water Authority, they're also known as Great Lakes Water, GLEWA, GL Water. They provide the drinking water for much of southeast Michigan. They took over this regional transmission system from DWSD, the Detroit Water and Sewer Department, about 10 years ago. Farmington Hills, West Bloomfield, Walled Lake, Wixom, Novi, and Commerce Township are largely supplied by a 4-foot diameter, 48-inch diameter transmission main that runs along 14 Mile Road. And as we all know, early Saturday morning, March 7th, around 4:30 in the morning, a break occurred on this main, and I know because the fire chief called me at 5 o'clock in the morning. And this happened near 14 Mile in Verona. GLWA crews and their emergency contractors have been on site since Saturday morning, working to isolate this section of water main by closing off valves. They were able to do that within a 6-hour period of time, and now they have started removing a 40-foot segment, 40-foot long segment of pipe that was damaged, and they're in the process of replacing it. On Saturday, multiple city departments, including Public Services, our fire department, our police department, communications team, and central services were called to assist, and they worked tirelessly throughout the day and evening. Our fire department rescued stranded motorists and evacuated adjacent property owners due to flood concerns. The fire department and DPW also managed roadway closures, and our DPW crews remained on scene throughout the city through the evening hours, monitoring flooding conditions and clearing debris that was swept downstream, and made sure that our bridges and culverts weren't blocked. Our communications team and central services team worked to make sure our residents and motorists were informed throughout the incident. Our Farmington Hills water system is connected to this transmission system, and although the break occurred in Farmington Hills, our water system has redundancy and resiliency built into our design and operations. That allowed our water system operators from Oakland County Water Resources Commission to maintain water pressures and ensure that our water customers and residents did not experience service interruptions or water quality issues. We do not have a boil water advisory in Farmington Hills, and we did not have one at any point in time over the weekend. This is a direct result of the city's continued investment in our water system infrastructure. Over the last 20 years, following best practice recommendations from our engineering team and continued support from city management and city councils, this city has implemented preventative measures to improve our water system operations, redundancy and reliability to minimize impacts that are felt during these types of emergencies. These system improvements exceed $20 million and include the replacement of aging water infrastructure, construction of the 3 million gallon water tower, remote monitoring and control, and installation of 2 new pressure reducing valves. Our decisions to implement improvements like these and the support from City Council to see it through made the difference in our system being able to operate without disruption during this particular incident. So thank you for all of your continued support to invest in the resiliency and reliability of our water system. And I want to thank the Oakland County Water Resources Commissioner's office staff who operates our city's local water system. So best case scenario for us, aside from the local neighborhood flooding incidences, but it could have been a lot worse for Farmington Hills. And again, I just want to thank City Council for their continued support of infrastructure investments.
Yeah. Good evening, Ms. Tobey.
Good evening, Mayor Rich, council, staff. It's an honor to be here on Commissioner Nash's behalf. I just want to echo what Karen was saying and express our sincere gratitude. Our office loves working with Farmington Hills. I reached out to the chief engineer over our water team, the ones who are overseeing this, and they stated that Farmington Hills' commitment to building that resiliency, to investing in the system, to building that water tower over a decade ago, to really being committed to emergency planning and preparation is the reason that there wasn't a boil water notice here, that your residents didn't lose any access or usability to their water system. So, you know, it takes a lot of work and money to prevent disasters or to be in a good situation when these things happen, and you guys have invested, you've prepared, you've planned. We love working with you, and just thank you.
So we did have 4 residences that, as we know, that were evacuated. I stopped by those homes today. A couple of them still have some lingering things that we'll be talking with them about. But you know, overall, they were very grateful for our fire department and for DPW and all the responders. And they were kayaking in Mr. Bridges in my neighborhood on Saturday. So I see, Ms. Knoll, you had a question?
I have a question also.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I do, and I'm not sure if you're going to know the answer to this, because as stated earlier, this is really a GLEWA pipe.
It is.
But there was a break several years ago on 14 Mile. That section was fixed. Now we've had another break of their pipe. Again, not our pipe, not your pipe, their pipe. I do get that. Granted, it's a different section, but it's apparent with a couple breaks in several years that this is a very old pipe that lacks resiliency. Do you know, are they planning on replacing the rest of the pipe? Do they have that in their capital improvements plan to do that soon? Or do we potentially have to worry about another break in a different section of the pipe in a year or two?
I don't know the answer to
Okay.
that. I apologize.
That's okay. I know it's not your pipe, but
Yeah.
I thought maybe just in
No,
conversations with them, you
unfortunately,
might know.
I'm not familiar with the capital improvement plan. I am a little bit familiar with the recurring breaks in certain types of pipes in this area and that issue, and I know that GLEWA was aware of that too. I don't know how they've incorporated that awareness into their CIP, but I can find the answer for you.
Well, yeah, or Karen, someone here at the city or between your office, if we could find that out, if that's in their capital improvements plan.
Yep. Yeah, they did do a lot of system renewal during the last break. They had taken 3 miles of pipeline out of service and did interior structural repairs. And then they also did the $95 million loop from 8 Mile to 14 Mile, which was beneficial in this case. But yeah, we are concerned about the remaining segments of the pipe that were not renewed. And clearly, you know, there's potential to be mitigated yet there.
Yeah, I think the pipe is like from 1970 or something. I know it is very old. I don't know the exact year. I thought I heard that year on the radio the
I
other
think you're
day.
accurate. It's the 70s. And for underground infrastructure, that's actually not too old, but I do think that there might be something to a type of pipe from that area contributing to this. And I'll just add for everybody's knowledge that we are able to scope and CCTV sewer lines and look for cracks and faults and prevent these types of things. Because water mains are pressurized, we're not able to do that kind of beforehand research to prevent them.
Mr. Bridges.
Thank you. Mayor and I live in that area there, and I recall about 4 years ago, there was a break there as well. And the proximity of that break was about, looking at the current break that happened recently, no more than about 100 feet, 200 feet. So the question that Ms. Noah has raised is a good one in regards to can we expect additional breaks along that area? This time, Farmington Hills was not affected by it, which is a great thing. And I was concerned about our possible inability to fill our water tower because of this break. But that was not disrupted as well. That water tower has served the residents of Farmington Hills in a great fashion by keeping rates low in our city, allowing us to purchase water at a lower rate when the demand is low. So if you could get back with the city in regards to what the cause of that break was, and again, it was such in close proximity to the previous break, no more than about, again, 50 yards. And this time it wasn't affecting our residents, but the fact is that we need to know if that's going to be something we need to look at down the road, additional breaks along 14-mile road.
Yeah, I think that conversation is unavoidable. I've seen the videos of what that break looked like. I appreciate the lightheartedness about the kayaking, but people's homes being flooded is, even if it's just one home, it's not okay. So I will talk to Karen, and I'm sure that we'll be talking to Great Lakes Water Authority, and we'll reconnect with you guys on what the next steps are.
And what next steps are, and what the expectation down the road in regards to additional breaks that could happen in that area as well. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you very much. And I just, for the community, I just want to call out that on Saturday, the government relations people from Kroger reached out to our city to see if we needed water, and fortunately, we did not. So they did go on and talk to Novi and Walled Lake and such. But, it's great when we have community partners who are very proactive when something goes wrong. So wanted people to know. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good evening, and thank the Water Resources Commissioner for us, please. Okay, one more under this topic is at our last meeting, we had someone at public comment who issued some concerns about flock and transparency and use of flock. And so Chief Piggott gave council an update during our study session about this, and we thought it would be helpful for the community to also understand so that they know that we are not hiding anything on this topic. So if you could, for a couple minutes.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Just answering up to that question, I know that came up very late in the previous council meeting about flock or license plate reader systems in general. Just to let everyone know, the police department has very strict rules as far as IT and accessing information via those devices, not only through the city's IT policy, which allows any member of local government to utilize our computer systems only for work purposes. Additionally, we have standards within the police department for criminal justice information system information, which is governed. So our policies do track that also. A review of our internal documents found that we had a draft policy for LPRs that had not gone live yet, but in the past week, our team has gotten together, matched that with our accreditation standards from MLIAC, along with incorporating that with our non-stationary LPRs, and now have, I believe, a robust policy when it comes to that. So law enforcement officers, just like many public officials, have access to a lot of very private information, and we trust them to follow through on those policies, and where we have violations of those, we strictly enforce those, subjecting employees to discipline up to termination and criminal charges for misuse of that information. So I just want to make sure you are all aware of that and that we take that seriously.
Great. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, that then takes us to correspondence. Anyone have correspondence that they would like to share?
I do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a couple, too. I received a correspondence from Peter Strickfaden, who lives near Heritage Park, and he was writing concerning flooding on his property, in which I turned that correspondence over to our acting city manager, Karen, and she's going to have the DPW, I believe, go out and talk to Mr. Strickfaden. I also received correspondence from Lindsay Janak, and Lindsay is the president of the Arts Commission, and she was writing on behalf of the entire Art Commission, in which I am the liaison from council from that commission. And they're stated there are several concerns they had regarding sports facility presentation that was given on September 22nd. And they're asking that council continue to examine and verify the data that was presented in the consultant's report. And they would like for council to continue to stay on top of that. And they also encourage the continued inclusion of staff and community members in discussions about major operational or budget changes at the Hawk. And I am going to want to assure them, I told them I would address this at the council table, but I am going to get with, again, with Karen Mondoro to get answer to some of their questions so that when we have their next meeting, I could answer some of those to their satisfaction. Many of them have already been addressed, but they're just not aware of them. But I'll work with you, Karen, to come up with the suitable replies to their request. And I'll also forward the email that they forwarded to me. But that's it.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, that then takes us to the consent agenda. All items listed under consent agenda are considered routine, administrative, or non-controversial by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests, in which event the items may be removed from the consent agenda for consideration. They will be read by our Mayor Pro Tem, Ms. Boulware.
All right, item number 7 for today is recommended approval of the Farmington Public Schools, Farmington Hills Police Department School Liaison Officer Cooperative Agreement, CMR 32628. Number 8, recommended approval of purchase of a backup server to People Driven Technology, Inc. in the amount of $104,475. CMR 32629. Number 9, recommended approval of a request for employment under Section 1001A of the City Charter for a police cadet, CMR 3-2630. Number 10, recommend approval of City Council study session minutes of February 23rd, 2026, and recommend approval of City Council regular session minutes of February 23rd, 2026.
Great, thank you. Is there a motion for items 7 through 9? Please.
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as read by the Mayor Pro Tem.
Support.
Items 7 through
7
9?
through 9 only, because I didn't.
Sorry, yes, 7 through 9. Got the
Thank you.
numbers.
So we have a motion and support. This is a roll call vote. All, clerk?
Council members Boulware,
Yes?
Bridges,
Yes.
Dwyer,
Yes.
Knoll,
Yes.
Starkman,
Yes.
Aldred.
Yes.
And Mayor Rich.
Yes. And is there a motion for items 10 and 11?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items 10 and 11, as read by the Mayor Pro Tem.
Support.
We have motion and support. This is also a roll call vote.
Council members Bridges,
Abstain.
Dwyer,
Yes.
Knoll,
Yes.
Starkman,
Yes.
Aldred,
Yes.
Boulware,
Yes.
Mayor Rich.
Yes. That then takes us to council member comments and announcements. Anyone? Mr. Aldred?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to follow up on the point about the water main break and just to add my thanks and appreciation to the fire department for what they do so well, which is to help people in time of difficulty. This time rescuing folks from stranded cars and flooded homes, and also obviously the work from DPW as well. Thanks to our city staff for that. I think it's also I think it's appropriate, we gave thanks and appreciation to Gary Mechan for all his years of service. And I think it's appropriate to recognize the water tower, the role that played in this. The water tower saves the city residents about $3 million a year in terms of water costs. And it was the water pressure provided from the water tower that meant that we didn't lose pressure and meant that our residents didn't have to boil water. That's a significant thing compared with downstream cities. And Mr. Megjan was instrumental in the implementation of the water tower when he was Director of Public Works, and I certainly appreciate his service. And I also want to give my personal appreciation to Ellen Schnackle as well for her years of service for special services. I wasn't able to attend personally her retirement, and so I wish you all the best, Ellen. Thank you for all of your service. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Mr. Bridges.
I also wanted to just to thank Mr. Maxim for his years of service as well, individually, and also to Clint, like Councilman Allred just mentioned, he played a leading role in the construction of the water tower for the city, which Clint continues to benefit our residents from a standpoint of lower cost, which is extremely important, as we know about the yearly increases from the water department for water as well. So I want to thank him for that. Also want to thank Ellen for her years of service as well. She's always came to council prepared, knowledgeable, and want to thank her and wish her the well. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Knoll.
Yes, well, also, I echo the comments about City Manager Metchian and Special Services Director Ellen Schnackle as well. But I also want to mention again, as the liaison to the Farmington Hills Beautification Commission, I'm going to keep plugging the Carol Posby Litter Walk that the Beautification Commission sponsors. And this year, well, you know, the snow has melted, so I'm sure many people, as you're driving around, might see some litter on the side of the roads now that it's apparent with the melting snow. So it is time to get out there and start doing some cleanup. So the beautifications litter walk is Saturday, April 25. This is the 13th time they've done it, so it's the 13th annual spring cleanup. And basically, you can, you know, do it with your family, your friends, grab some folks from work or from another organization, your church, another organization you belong to, and you pick a stretch of road. Most people tend to pick the stretch by their business or where they live, and you simply clean up the litter and debris that was collected over the winter. If you register for this, we make it really easy for you. The Farmington Hills Department, the DPW department, will actually give you gloves and trash bags. They will supply those with you, and after you pick up the trash, you just leave the trash bags by the side of the road, and they come and pick them up for you. So again, the date is Saturday, April 25, between 8 and 3 p.m. And if you are interested in participating, reach out to the city. You can call Tracy. She's the staff liaison for the Beautification Commission, and she's at 248-871-2545. So that was one item, and then also I have one other item here. I know Farmington Public Schools has a variety of really good sports teams, and so by saying this, I'm not trying to leave anyone out, because I know numerous sports teams have won competitions over the year, but I am going to congratulate the Farmington Public Schools gymnastics team. It's the Farmington United Gymnastics team, so it's a joint team consisting of girls from both Farmington High School and North Farmington. And they competed in the MSHAA, the Michigan State High School Athletic Association state meet this past weekend. And they came in second place. The team came in second place, and then also they have individual competitions for both Division I and Division II, and the Farmington United team had several girls that placed in the top 10 for all around, as well as they had girls that placed in the top 10 for the individual apparatus. So we're blessed with a really great group of hardworking girls, and the coaches are amazing. And I say this because my daughter's on the team, so that's why I know all about this.
Right.
So anyways, I'm really proud of them and all the hard work these girls have put into this season, as well as the coaches. And of course, I'm going to thank all the parents that drive them around and pay for everything, and they deserve kudos as well.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, me, yes. Just a short announcement. March 8th was International Women's Day. And I'd like to take this opportunity to celebrate with my council members and Mayor Teresa Rich and Councilman Valerie Knoll, International Women's Day. That was officially on March 8th. Of course, we didn't meet that date, so we're meeting tonight, and I think it's really important to acknowledge the work that women are doing, just not in municipal government, but in our country in general.
Thank you. And speaking of women doing amazing things, congratulations to Farmington Hills' own Megan Keller, two-time gold medalist in hockey, who actually scored the golden goal in the most recent Olympics. For those of us who were on council in 2018, when she won her first gold, she very kindly came here with her parents to a council meeting. And this last week, I sent a card to her and her parents, inviting them back. So hopefully they will be able to come and join us at a future council meeting. But congratulations, Megan, you made us so proud. Also wanted to congratulate our Greater Farmington Area Chamber of Commerce on their State of the Cities address on Friday. We featured addresses from Corewell Health, OCC, Farmington Schools, the City of Farmington, and City of Farmington Hills, and I understand my remarks will be available on YouTube sometime after today. So feel free to take a look there. And also, we had Feed the Need Farmington Hills meeting today. Those happen every second Monday of the month at 2 o'clock at Narden Park. And just a couple little updates. We are working with Forgotten Harvest and Ward Church on having a mobile food pantry in Farmington Hills one day a month. So we're working on logistics for that. We had a presentation today from Smart Flex about how we can better use Smart Flex. More to follow on this. But in particular for our families in need and our people with disabilities. And then something kind of cool and exciting is we are piloting a hot meal delivery pilot, as I said piloting, for some of our unhoused community members who are staying at our various hotels. This is being sponsored by the ISKCON Temple on Grand River. We have participation also in food provision by the folks from the Dawoodi Bora Mosque. Neighborhood houses participating, along with Narden Park United Methodist Church. And it's just really neat to see all of this stuff come together. And so I'll let you know how that pilot goes at the end of the month. And that's all I have for today. That then takes us to the city manager update.
Thank you. The City of Farmington Hills is hosting a hiring event on the evenings of March 10th and March 16th. So that will be tomorrow night and then next Monday. This will be at the Hawk Community Center, the address 29995 West 12 Mile Road. And we will be looking for staff members for multiple departments, both part-time and full-time positions. There will be opportunities for on-site interviews. No appointments are necessary, so any job seekers out there, please plan to stop by if you are available. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That then takes us to new business. Item 5, which we foreshadowed a bit, consideration of appeal of a Freedom of Information Act request dated January 11th, 2026. Mr. Bridges?
Yes, we'll yield to the city attorney first.
Thank you.
Just very briefly, if I could, this is an appeal of a Freedom of Information Act request where the individual requesting it appealed the decision concerning the documents he received. Those appeals come to City Council to be handled. Mr. Strickfaden is the person making the appeal, and he and I spoke. He has indicated that he would like to postpone this appeal hearing until the first meeting in April in order to provide time for him to meet with city staff to discuss this matter with the understanding that his rights and claims under this appeal are preserved. So if you would be willing to consider a motion to postpone, that is at his request.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I have a motion for that fact. I move to postpone this item, the item number 5, to until April 13, 2026, regular meeting. That's my motion.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and support. This is a regular vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Carries. Item 6, consideration of approval of appointment to the Farmington Hills Activity Center Ad Hoc Advisory Committee. Is there a motion? Sure. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would like to recommend the following appointments for the Farmington Hills Activity Center, the Ad Hoc Advisory Committee. This is a length of term for a year, ending February 1, 2027. So from the Parks and Rec Commission, Steve Stimson. From the Commission on Aging, Daniel Fontour. For a senior community member, Cynthia Gottlieb. A community member, Peyton Payman. And the council member, John Aldred, and then the mayor, Teresa Rich.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion? Okay, this is a,
I might just
please.
make a comment. I get to reiterate the fact, I know this is something that we've heard a lot of comments around. This is a very important topic. I think we continue on it, and we will receive emails even this week reiterating, wanting to make sure that this council is considering all the different aspects of whether if you say new caustic center, where that should be, whether that should be 11 mile or 12 mile, and at the Hawk campus. And I think this just underlines the fact that there's been a request, especially for this, to have an additional ad hoc committee. So I think it's just for those who are maybe not familiar what this is for, this ad hoc advisory committee, to ensure that we're getting input in addition, making sure that we're considering those things. And I personally would be very happy to serve on this, and I think it's hopefully going to help improve communication. I think communication is a very important part of this. So I just wanted to reiterate that, just for those who are maybe watching who aren't clear what this is.
Indeed, and thank you for agreeing to serve. Okay, this is a regular vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Okay, that is all of our business items. I have one card for public comment, so if anyone else wants to make public comment, please submit a card, but Suzanne Denges, please. Suzanne? Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Suzanne Denges. At the last City Council meeting, February 23rd, 2026, Dan Pantori, chairperson of the Commission on Aging, gave a report update. He said that he, Lori Darrow, and Sue Homant, who are friends of the Caustic Center, visited some senior activity centers that were of a similar size to the Caustic Center. The Rochester Hills OPC was reported to have a 2-story building for its center. However, it was not mentioned that this center was built into a hill with 3 entrances on the ground level right into the parking lot, and 3 entrances on the upper level entrance leading right into a 2nd-story parking lot. This made the building extremely safe for people with wheelchairs, walkers, canes, etc. They did not have to navigate any stairs or elevators to exit the building directly into a parking lot. At this point, Dan said that this would make a 2-story building accessible for seniors. This is not a true or accurate statement about any senior centers except for this particular one in Rochester Hills. The Friends of the Caustic Center, who were standing behind us, standing behind Dan to show our support, do not know he was going to say this. None of us agree with that statement. We must have a 1-story senior center for the safety of our seniors. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that is the end of, city attorney report.
Yes, thank you. You do have my written report. Believe it or not, I have one thing I wanted to mention to council. I don't think I heard it mentioned by anybody on council, But you may be aware of this, just wanted to mention it because it is kind of significant from the legal side of things. There are 9 bills that have been presented in Lansing that preempt local zoning to various degrees. You're all shaking your heads, so you know MML has some good resources, and they are also proposing counter legislation with another solution. Just wanted to make sure you were aware of that and doing your thing.
Well aware.
Well aware.
Well aware,
Sign a
in
petition.
great opposition, and I believe we all signed the petition.
Oh, that's
In
great.
opposition, so thank you for that, Counselor. And with that, we're adjourned. We will see you March 23rd. Good night, Farmington Hills.